Thanks for joining us. We are talking about staircases with Bill Bavona from Hardwood Design, Inc. from Rhode Island. All right, I'm going to ask you all about woodworking. How did you get started making staircases?
You know, originally my father was a very handy guy. He had a little basement shop, so I was always hanging around that environment.
So you saw him miter corners?
Yes, yeah, but, all kinds of home projects. And so then I built a boat in the basement when I was 15. And then,
wait, you built a boat in the basement?
Yeah, a little speedboat, yeah.
How did you get it out? I mean, just...
It was small enough that we just wove it, through the garage door, yeah.
And then how did you open up a shop and start in? How did that happen?
I just loved woodworking. And so I was an apprentice boat builder in high school. Then I went on to college, and they had furniture design there. And so I took coursework in furniture design and construction, and then after college opened up a shop with two of the guys that I met at the boatyard. And we were working with furniture and cabinets, and then we just really dialed it into stairs because that seemed to be something that we made a name for.
So you dialed it into stairs. So let's take a look at the first picture because I was first, this is your workshop that we're seeing right here, correct? This is where the magic happens?
Right, so that's a stair being built in the shop.
All right, because you're used to building things in the basement or somewhere else and then taking them out. So let's look at the first staircase. The reason you're here is because I am mesmerized by your spiral staircases. How do you know how to build this, and how do you know how it has to sit in a dwelling, and how do you come up with these designs?
Well, everything we do is designed in AutoCAD, so everything starts on the computer screen.
Okay.
So we go to the space, we measure the working envelope, and then we develop the best stair we can design from what we have to work with on site, and plus the architect's drawings that are provided.
Drop some names of the staircases of the famous that you've built for.
Well, we've done. A lot of the people are people in finance. So there's every bank.
Because these aren't
CEO.
cheap. These are not cheap staircases.
Right, they're not.
No. So finance.
Finance, a quarterback for the New England Patriots.
Gee, who's that?
This guy. Yo-Yo Ma, the cellist, and author Tom Clancy had a house in the vineyard that we worked in.
So you will go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep going through these staircases. This is phenomenal. Where is this staircase?
That's a stair out in the Berkshires. That was the owner there was somebody that developed the Pentium processor. So that was a second home.
What's the most expensive staircase you've ever built?
One single stair was about $300,000.
It was a spiral staircase?
It was a couple of stairs that came up to a shared landing.
How big were these stairs?
It was a fairly big room, but it was just a floor to floor, and it was probably 30 feet wide.
Wow,
yeah.
Made out of
mahogany.
Mahogany.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell me about this one.
This is a stair in Newport, and it was a stair that just went up to a little cocktail deck on top of the house that overlooked Narragansett Bay and the bridges. Yeah. Yep, that's walnut.
This looks oval. Is it a complete oval?
Yep, that's an ellipse. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And how many stairs are in that?
That was a brownstone in I think Chestnut Street or Lewisburg Square, maybe in Boston, and that was one of 5. It was a 5-story brownstone.
How do you come up with these designs? How does that happen?
Generally the architect provides us with drawings that show the design intent, what they want it to look like, and then we really tune it, dial it in so that it meets code, so that it's comfortable, so that the railing transitions are smooth and look as good as they can look.
So from building a boat in the basement, spiral staircases, and in particular spiral staircases is your joy, is your love.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other guys like you in this country, or are you kind of alone on this?
You know, there are other really talented stair builders spotted all over the country, really. Because we have technology, really, machining technology especially, and the design technology, this trade is coming back, because it was really all but dead after, you know, at the turn of the century, it was pretty popular. There was European craftsmen doing this kind of work by hand, you know, with really just hand tools. Then it sort of died out after the war and the Depression, World War II. But it's definitely coming back. We can build stairs better than they ever could have.
And why is
then.
it coming back? I mean, people are looking for more ornate things now?
I think in the market that we're in, it really is because the wealth is there to support it.
The 1%.
The 1%ers, yeah.
How did you first get noticed that you were the guy with the spiral staircases? I mean, how did you get found?
You know, we were invited to do a big project in Boston. This was 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Because you've been at it about 30 years.
Right. So this was about 25 years ago. So we bid off way more than we could chew. We lost a ton of money on that particular project, but it was a really interesting big project. So that really got us into the game. So now we're invited to, you know, to all of the bigger projects in the region.
Favorite project you've ever done? One that you thought you maybe couldn't get done, but you did it?
It was really one that we did about 2 years ago. It was the biggest one. And
was that the quarterback for the?
No.
Oh,
no.
that was somebody else. You can't say.
It was an individual that wants privacy. So.
All right, I'll get it out of you later, but that's fine. All right, let's continue to look for some of these pictures. This is beautiful. You know, a front porch, more standard.
Right, but I mean that was a restoration job in on the east side of Providence. So they wanted to reproduce, you know, the existing. Balustrade that was completely rotted, and that happens to be synthetic. That's a plastic material that we machined and put together.
How many people do you employ?
About 20.
20 people. Here's another staircase. Anything particular? And I can see the balusters are interesting.
Yeah, that's, you know, sort of a rustic style that I don't even know where that project was, but it's you know, got rustic finish. Rustic material. I think it was even reclaimed material
from an
terrific. Old building. Yeah.
This is sharp. So this is wrought iron, and I'm fascinated about bending wood because that's not cheap. How do you do that?
That project was that's actually a marble stair. I think they got the stair part from somewhere in Europe. Our part was just the cap rail, just the wood cap rail, and it really is. It's carved out of a block, each rail segment, like this.
Right. So we have some show and tell here.
This is a fitting that is completely hand carved from a single piece of wood.
This is all hand carved?
Hand carved, because you can't get this through a machine. So we use carving tools. Special sanding tools, you know, some air-powered machining tools.
Takes hours.
This part right here is 3 days for one of my best guys.
And this is made out of what?
That's mahogany.
That's mahogany. It's stunning. All right, and I happen to love this Newel Post, which is a lighthouse. This isn't carved?
No, but that's made on our CNC machine, which is a computer-operated machine that we program from the drawings, and then we make all the components from
to the specifics. And is this a monogram?
That was a little medallion for Providence College. I think these are like spirits.
Oh, okay.
And that again was done mostly on the CNC machine with some hand-carved touch-up.
And then these can be made on machine. Both of
those are made on the machine. Yep.
What's the most bizarre request you've had for a staircase? I'm just going to call you the staircase guy.
Yeah, you know, we do a lot of there's a lot of glass stairs now that we work on. So they have glass, you know, plate glass balustrade.
Frosted and clear.
Frosted, clear,
yeah.
Curved, and so there's there's metal glass, wood combinations that we do. And we do our share of hideously ugly stairs
You just
too,
don't tell
just
them
because we have to do whatever.
have to do what the contractor
people ask
says.
us to do.
All right, there's more pictures. So we've seen this one. Let's keep going. This is so interesting to me. Describe what's on the back of that truck.
That's the spiral that we saw earlier in Newport. So that that we put on the flatbed trailer.
So you build it in the shop.
Build it completely in the shop, put it on the trailer, and then there's a crane waiting for us at the house.
Wait, a crane?
A crane, yeah. So that gets lifted way up over the rooftop and down. It corkscrews through the hatches.
Wow.
For the roof hatch.
And then the second picture should be that staircase in there.
That's the one.
That's it.
Yep.
How many flights does that go up?
That's just a single flight.
And so the architect designed it that way, or did you have some input into that?
In this case, the architect gave us a photo from a magazine. This particular architect we work really closely with. She gives us a concept and then lets us run with it entirely. So she gave us the concept that showed sort of a metallic stringer.
Oh, that's terrific.
And then we get to really have fun with something like that.
So over
yeah.
30 years, did you ever think you'd end up being the staircase guy?
No.
What
no,
did
I
you
never
start out
dreamed of
doing?
it. Initially I just thought I would be a guy working at a bench. But it's become a really nice family business. It's beautiful.
And will you stay doing this for the duration?
Sure. Yep.
Sure, why not? All right. Well, thank you so much, Bill Bavona, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
With Hardwood Design and Ink, and all the way from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And best of luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Made a trivial pursuits when one listen. Who is this girl I spend all night kissing? And the was right here, then who else is missing? Got a little sidetracked to find myself wishing I could find the keys to the door, but it's also a metaphor. Need to keep locked in the grocery store of the mind. Just to save time, I'll skip right ahead to the last ride. The harder we look, the less we can see. Don't you know that you need me?